Welcome back, my friends. It is December 17th, 2018, 8:24 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, we're starting with current temperatures. It is chilly all over the place. Just wanted to give you an update on that. All right, topic of this video, very serious situation ongoing right now, and it will be ongoing through Tuesday at least. This massive system that is moving in from the Eastern Pacific Ocean. It's basically coming down, wrapping through the coast of Alaska, and then down into Washington, Oregon, and then California. Massive wave and wind situation going on. And we're talking, once again, hurricane force, Category 1 winds causing 40-foot plus waves and swells all over California. Now, this isn't just me reading charts. This is actual quotes from the National Weather Service saying, stay back from the ocean or risk certain death. They are basically saying, get out of the water, don't go near the water because of these waves. And you could see here, the high surf warnings extend all the way up from Portland, Oregon, actually even north of Portland, Oregon, all the way down, as you can see, through Eureka, California, which has beaches closed currently. San Francisco Bay is closing beaches as we speak. And then this is expected to extend down into even the Los Angeles area. In particular, Humboldt Bay near Eureka and Noyo Harbor by Fort Bragg. They are closed. You cannot even access these beaches. There are some people out there, especially surfers, that are taking advantage of this situation. It's actually a pretty cool video, but I'll show you that in a second. But take a look at this chart here from windy.com. Now you can see how the swell is it's coming down in a southeastern direction, and then it's whipping back up over these areas. So it's pushing the water into the states this way. But as time goes on, this thing's going to start rolling its way down in this direction, if that makes sense to you. So even though it's spinning in a counterclockwise direction, that's the northern hemisphere trait that we deal with these low pressure systems. There is something weird going on in Alaska that's continuing to push these systems lower than usual, and also continuing to aid in that El Nino situation we are in the U.S., which is why we're seeing all this crazy weather. But just take a look at some of these colors and match them to the chart down here on the bottom right. Now you can see the pinks and the purples are between 35 and 45 mile per hour winds, but then when you get into the blues here, we're talking close to 70 mile an hour gusts, and that's when you're pushing Category 1 or a very low tropical storm or a very high tropical storm wind rate at that point. Now, this is no joke. These waves are crazy. This was a video taken courtesy of Weather Nation. Go ahead and give them a like for providing this video for us. But this is just a shot of a wave taking out a surfer. This is Half Moon Bay in California. This was taken earlier today. So you can clearly see these waves are no joke. And not only are these waves crashing out in sea, they are beginning to crash into the beaches, which is why a lot of businesses and the beaches themselves have been closed by the National Weather Service and the Coast Guard, basically. Coast Guard is very much involved in this situation. Let's see. I want to show you on here the wind storms. Okay, so high wind warnings and these dark brown shaded colors. That's what you want to look out for when you're looking for wind. And then obviously the purple is gale warning. We talked about that yesterday. So gale force warning winds all along the coast of the upper west of the U.S., and that is slowly moving down. As you can see, the lighter purples extending all the way down to Southern California. Basically, the strength or the biggest part of these waves is right around this area now, and it's going to slowly roll down. So you're also seeing these wind advisories in Washington, in Oregon, in states of that. And then it's going to swing down in this direction here, and that is that system we've been talking about, which I'll make another video on, that we are watching, that is soon to be a rain/snowmaker for the holiday travel, which is coming up very shortly. Also, gale warnings going on in the northeast, but mostly off the coast, so not as much of an issue as what we're dealing with in California here. But guys, 40 plus foot waves is a very serious situation. All right, we checked out windy.com. You can see here Eureka Beach is in Northern California. We got San Francisco Bay in the middle, which is where that wind is kind of hitting as we speak, and then they're expecting it to roll down in this direction. So for those of you that live in California near the beaches, if you haven't noticed already, there are beachfront properties being boarded up almost as if they're preparing for a hurricane. That's how serious and how far in these waves are actually punching into the surface. They're causing beach erosion, all sorts of things. I have not seen anything as far as anyone missing or anything like that. I mean, I don't know what happened with this surfer right here after this wave crashed on him, but this is some incredible footage. Let's just take one more look at this. This is unbelievable. This guy's got some cojones, to say the least. And there he goes. Right at the end of the video, you see him fall off his board, but wow, check that out. Imagine seeing a wave like this crash into your beach. That'd be incredible. And one more thing I wanted to show you. Let's just take a look at our current Doppler right now. And for the Northeast, I just want to put this out there. We have a little bit of a swirl going on up here, and there is some areas expecting snow. There is a winter weather advisory in upstate New York. Also near Vermont and New Hampshire. Now, it's not certain exactly how far this is going to come down, but they're basing this off of the fact that there's a counterclockwise spin going on. And like we were dealing with that moisture system that's been saturating the southeast states, this gets pulled up and then wrapped around the Canadian cold air and then brought back this way, which is what turns it into those snow situations. And it can also mix with that lake effect snow. But certainly moisture in this area. You can see the blue here. This is snow, so definitely higher elevations are going to be dealing with snow in these areas. That's why the winter advisory is there. But just keep an eye on that swirl there. So, for those of you that live in that area, in a couple more hours, I will have a little more data to show as far as how far down this is going to come, whether it's going to cross into New Jersey or other areas of PA. I know northeast Pennsylvania, we're expecting some snow here in the next couple hours. But once again, let's tie this all back to the point of the video, and then I'll let you guys go. But you could see here over the last 16 hours, we had that big surge of rain move in from the Pacific. And then after that is when this right here is what's causing these 40 plus foot waves and all this wind and crazy things going on in the beaches of California. Not to mention the rain that came before that were hitting areas where the Camp Fire was and those other fires in California. And they've been talking about nonstop mudslides, road closures, just a big giant mess going on in California right now. So if it's not fire, it's water now. So it's just one thing after another for them. Like I said, guys, bipolar weather. That is the term I've been using for a long time now. And I can't think of anything else to say but bipolar weather. Like, we are seeing some of the craziest stuff we've seen in years go on, especially in the U.S. And just not the U.S., but all over the world. And that includes more of an uptick of these earthquakes. Now, really quick, I just want to let you know, for today at least, the top earthquakes, Papua New Guinea, Ring of Fire, we've been talking about that nonstop. 5.5 earthquake, 60 kilometers deep. We had another 5.2 in Papua New Guinea shortly thereafter. A 5.0 New Caledonia, very close to that area, same Ring of Fire. But what I want to point out here are two significantly deep earthquakes that usually mean one of two things. It usually means that we're going to see a lot more action in that area, and more times than none, the deeper the earthquake, the stronger the next one will be. So you could see here, south of the Fiji Islands, 4.5 earthquake right here, 532 kilometers deep, guys. That is insanely deep. And usually what that means is you will see a bigger earthquake than 4.5 and much shallower in that area. And then to see two of them in one day, this one being 384 kilometers, just adds to that potential of more shallow earthquakes. So for those of you that followed the earthquake forecasts We could be expecting a lot of activity to happen along the Fiji Islands region, which is also part of the Ring of Fire. And it will make sense to me because a lot of these major earthquakes have been up in this area. We have the major volcano going off we spoke about yesterday, and that pressure seems to be transferring down and then towards New Caledonia and then into Fiji and then even down into New Zealand. We could be seeing some of these earthquakes pop up. So, again, to our friends in New Zealand, in Fiji, New Caledonia, Australia had a big earthquake out in the west yesterday, and then all these are today. So, anyone in these areas, please keep an eye on these charts, especially because when you see deep earthquakes, it's not too soon after that that you get to see the shallow, stronger ones. So that was that last bit of information I wanted to give you. Of course, we have a little bit of action going on in the U.S. again as far as earthquakes. Nothing in Tennessee today for once. We've had a 3-day in a row earthquake Tennessee thing going on, and then a couple semi-significant earthquakes in California. So California's getting all sorts of things happening to them today. And then Anchorage, you can't even count how many earthquakes have happened in Anchorage in the last week here. They're into the thousands. So a lot to look out for, guys. The Ring of Fire is certainly on fire. And whether or not the wind situation going on with these waves in California have anything to do with it, who knows? But the warning's out there. I want everyone to understand that this is not a situation to take lightly. We do not see waves like this very often along the west side of the U.S., especially in California. Yes, you do get big waves out in the ocean for the surfers, but for these to get into the coast and actually affect businesses and homes, that's a different story when you're approaching Category 1 strength winds along with it. So, all right, guys, that's what I got for you for now. I plan on getting out another video tonight. If not, then tomorrow obviously is another day for another video. We still need to talk about this Christmas travel weather system. Sorry, guys, I'm reading this as I'm talking to you. To see what this is actually going to do as far as pre-Christmas travel. It does not look like it will be a nor'easter on Christmas. Unfortunately, I know a lot of you were excited about that. But we got to stay truthful here and put the facts out. And the facts are, it looks like it's going to be more of a rain situation, and it might be a little bit before Christmas, which will cause travel delays for those of you that are going to visit family before Christmas. So probably more of a headache than if this did happen on Christmas, where everyone's already where they need to be. So, all right, that's all I got for you. I'm done rambling. San Francisco, Eureka, Los Angeles, Oregon and Washington, please keep an eye on this situation. Stay away from the beaches for the next couple days. It won't kill you, I promise. And you'll be back to normal very shortly. And watch out for those mudslides. Lots of road closures in California going on, especially near that campfire area where there's a lot of dry sediment because of the fires, and then when you add the water, you get the mudslides. All right, guys, that's it for me. Caroline and I appreciate every one of you. Thank you for the comments, the donations, everything. It means the world to us. That's why we do this, and we will talk to you all very soon. Have a great night. Bye-bye.